Hey, what's going on, champs? I'm Aaron Deliosa. Welcome to an Immigrant's Life podcast, my podcast about immigrants and immigration and everything in between. Thank you for listening and downloading the show, and thank you for supporting my dad.
Welcome back, Immigrant Nation. Another week, another new episode. Apparently, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But is it? You know, I sometimes I feel like I'm the Grinch, but sometimes I feel like I'm Santa. To be honest, it took me a while before I appreciated Christmas and enjoy it. And that's because I spent about 11 to 12 Christmases, give or take, not being able to celebrate it with my mom since she was working in Hong Kong as a caregiver, which, I have to imagine it was hard for me to enjoy Christmas, being a young boy, growing up without mom and not celebrating it with her. But having children of my own changed all of that. Because I don't care what you say or think, but Christmas is for children. And my own children reminded me that the power of Christmas, the spirit of Christmas, and it made me happy. And now I actually enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it now. So that's my quick story about Christmas. Enough of my sub story. It's Christmas after all. Let me start Christmas by saying thank you, my immigrant nation. Thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate and love each and one of you. Speaking of Christmas, why don't you be so generous and subscribe, if you haven't, to the podcast? Also, if you haven't given us a 5-star rating, please gift us that too, as it will mean a lot to us and it will be the best gift I will receive this holiday season. And as always, you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Our handle is @AnImmigrant'sLife, and our email address is @AnImmigrant'sLife@yahoo.com. If you want to reach out or if you want to send us a holiday greetings, that'll be the best way to do so. Oh, by the way, this week officially marks the third Christmas of An Immigrant's Life. And I'm still amazed and proud that we're still out here grinding and sharing these wonderful stories of immigration. That's my piece. Now, let's talk about this week's episode. Despite our guest's multiple accomplishments, she always finds time to look back and appreciate how far she has come. That's why I felt this episode is perfect for Christmas. It's time to pause and look back and enjoy your accomplishment, what you have done in 2022. Okay, I think I've said enough for today. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Today's guest is a junior marketing manager that will serenade you with her ukulele playing and mesmerize you with her modeling. Everyone, please welcome Sohee Riboss.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm very much excited about this meeting with you.
I love it. Finally, we made it.
Yeah, sure. We've been planning since September, I guess.
Yeah, it took a while. But you know what? Doesn't matter. We're here now.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the podcast finally.
Thank you too for inviting. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here. And I'm very much looking forward to have a very interesting conversation with you.
I appreciate that. Why don't you tell the Immigrant Nation where they can reach you, or if you want to promote anything?
Well, I think people can reach me on Instagram under the name or username Avoriboss, AVORIBOSS.
Mm-hmm. Before we started recording, you mentioned about being spontaneous. And when we're trying to book this conversation, you said that you don't really do anything spontaneous. Am I right to think that?
I wouldn't say so, but yeah, I love planning a lot. Like I still, I mean, recently also, like we've been talking with another photographer with who we are thinking of catching up in Cologne. And he's like, yesterday he talked to me like, how about today on Sunday? I'm like, oh, I've already booked a meeting with you. And then he's like, and then I'm like, how about the next week? And he's like, usually I don't plan. I'm like, okay, you are a spontaneous person, but I do have some, meetings and appointments ahead.
Wait,
I
the
think it's
photographer doesn't plan?
well, I think I don't really know, but I'm also very much surprised that he does.
Don't work with that guy.
But I think it's gonna be fun because with that
I'm sure, but I
personality.
just like I don't. I'm a very spontaneous guy, but with my art, if I'm allowed to say podcasting is an art,
Yeah,
I
I do
plan
believe it is.
everything. Like there's nothing that's not planned. Everything is planned. Everything I post, everything that I record, everything is planned.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, once in a while, it happens that the guest cancels or whatever. That's out of my hand. But other than that, like, you cannot just like, oh, by the
Yeah.
way, Sohee.
Yeah, and the structure and everything. Yeah, but that thing is just to meet up and discuss about what kind of shoot we want to do, the theme topic, and get to know and get easy with each other so that we could try out different things without, feeling awkward. Yeah, I think
I see the
getting
point.
more creative and getting more,
Yeah, but you gotta plan that. You can't be just like, oh, by the way, I'm in the corner of your street. Let me in.
And that's also what I wouldn't do. Like I like to be prepared beforehand, at least a day before, so that I know, like, okay, that's gonna happen, and make my mind clear and get ready for that. I think it's also about a respect to the other side because they also invest some time. So you need to have your podcast, for example, maybe somehow structured. You also think of some things. It doesn't always everything come spontaneous. But if it's about fun, like if you are just sitting and you are bored or you don't have plans and it's like spontaneous, hey, let's go on a trip or something, then of course it's a good thing. Yeah, but this is what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with that. Like, I don't know, like with a podcast, I do have ideas to talk about, but because I'm not that smart, so I try to figure out things just in case my brain stops working, which happens a lot of time. So,
Because it's Sunday.
no, it's just that's my brain.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, even with photo shooting stuff, like when you meet the person, sometimes it should come out creative, and being spontaneous is probably good there. Like if you come with your poses prepared, like your outfit should be prepared. Like maybe there are some things that should be planned and thought of ahead, but not everything. Like you don't want to have a checklist and you are like, have I done this and that? But yeah, there should be a room for being a bit more flexible, creative, and spontaneous. So
I love it.
yeah.
Definitely. So the reason why we had to postpone the recording was you went to vacation. How was that?
Oh, that was nice. I haven't been back since I came to Germany. I come from Uzbekistan, for those who yet don't know. So I haven't been back there like since 2018. I didn't go, and after 4 years, I think 4.5 or 5 already. I could see that many things have changed, like either in me and also in the society and the country, and I could see a lot of differences. I could see, so I made lots of also self-realizations, like to which side I've changed and what things I could be proud of that I worked on, let's say. Yeah.
Successes.
Yeah, successes.
Yeah.
At some point when you live and you like, I mean, on your way, if you keep learning, achieving, sometimes when you don't evaluate it, or if you don't look back and compare your condition before and your current one, then it's hard to see your achievements, as you said. But yeah, when I went back, I was like, okay, that was a great leap, and I'm very proud of myself. I think my parents as well.
As you should. Hey, man, you are a
Yeah, of
badass.
course.
Did you leave Uzbekistan by yourself?
The thing was like, I think by scholarship, like, yeah, myself by scholarship, but with the encouragement of my sister. So she was like, "Hey, you gotta try the scholarship, DAD, DAD, we call it." So it's provided for bachelor's and master's students to Germany, and the reason why we chose it, it was fully funded. Like, I mean, you get the stipend, and it's enough for your living, and studies are here. Like the public universities are free, so you don't have to pay the fee unless you choose the private ones or the ones with the fee. So yeah, so this is what had happened. Like I wasn't pretty much sure. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna make it because I'm right now doing my bachelor's. I'm also working part-time, and I'm also doing, even at that time I was a bit interested in this ramping and modeling. So there was the university runway show things, and I was even participating in that. And I'm like, now I'm gonna write my like diploma and bachelor's, like get first class honors. But at the same time, I want to like get the opportunity from that. And yeah,
You want to
so
do everything.
yeah, and then and the thing is like I wasn't very much confident that with this much stuff I can also like apply for the scholarship and get it. So that
Why
was
were
it
you not
actually.
confident?
Because I've been doing a lot, I think, but at the end it worked out. Yeah.
How were you like as a child? Were you always been an overachiever, or were you a laid back child?
I think I wasn't the one who is super proactive. Like if something is given to me like as a challenge, like, hey girl, you gotta do this, then I do it. Like, or like at school they're like, hey, there is a task, do this, and then I can do and achieve very well. But for example, my mom, she has never been that much strict that I need to get like good grades at everything. But she always used to say like, hey, I've been the best at school, I've been the best and she has been. So I think it was kind of the thing when you are a kid, your idol is probably your mom most of the time. So you also want to be like that. But she, like, even if I got lower grades, which I got, so she was like, it's fine. You were just having also fun and learning, so which is cool. And I'm like, okay. So I wasn't stressed much about it. But I should say that I wasn't the one who was like super proactive. Like when somebody just gives me a first like push, like you got to do this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can, and then I do most of the time.
You're not the one who looks for any activity or anything to achieve.
I think I do, but not that in a sense that there are some people who cannot, let's say, live without any challenges. They always should have this drive. They should always keep working and achieving something. But for me, I think I like doing. I might be more proactive about the hobbies and creative things and art. Yeah, rather than some, if I can say so, like hard achievements, like in career or school or something. Yeah.
How was your social economic situation in Uzbekistan? Were you guys doing well? Or were you guys?
Oh, I would say, how can I say this? It wasn't too bad, but of course, we didn't grow up in a full family. So my father like left when we
What a legend!
I don't know how I say it.
He just bounced. He's buying a cigarette in the corner street. In the corner store there. Like, hey, 1 minute, I'm just gonna buy something over there, and he never comes back. By the way, before you tell
It's
the
like,
story,
hey, we did it.
I love these guys. I admire the courage on these guys to
Which
just
guys?
leave your family.
No, I think I just I just should say it, like it just didn't work out well with my mother. I don't know how to say this.
No, I'm
Okay.
just joking. What were they divorced? Is there divorce in
Um,
Uzbekistan?
No, I think that's a separation thing.
Annulment.
How do you say this? Like they left. They didn't get along well. So at some point, and yeah, of course we were struggling financially, but we studied in one of the best schools because I think my mom was always for education. So yeah, we also studied in a private school, like so we were doing, let's say, great at the public school. Because even when we have this break, during the break time, I would do my homework and come back home. And I'm like, hey, I'm done with my work. I'm going out to have fun. And my mom, she realized that we are doing well there. So we need more, maybe greater challenge. So she took us to a private school and we were paying there monthly. And our grandparents used to help us.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and my grandparents were quite well known in their town back in Karakol, Pakistan. So I think, yeah, and yeah, what can I say? And then I also studied in a bachelor's at Westminster University in Tashkent, one of the like good international universities. So yeah,
Do you have a relationship with your dad?
yeah, I mean, I just talk once in a while, but I wouldn't say in a very close contact. And
Who calls, you or him?
recently I did, but most of the time he does.
Once a month? Once every 6 months?
He would do it quite often, but I don't think I'm super ready to do it. To go, yeah, to, I don't know, interact as if everything is so good.
You still feel resentment towards him?
I think on a probably like mentally maybe I understand that it's just you need to let things go, and then yeah, but
But
oh, can
emotionally.
we skip this part?
Why? You're doing great.
Am I?
Yeah.
Because I don't really know. Because sometimes I just don't want to spread something super negative to the world, like, oh, I've been acting as if I'm a victim.
No. You're telling your story.
Okay, then I don't know where you cut it, but let me try to answer this question again then.
It's okay. Well, again, if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. We can move on. But I just want to know okay, here. How old are you when he left?
How old was I? I think 10 years old. But of course we used to, I think my father, like he used to come every weekend and we used to go to nice places to explore and learn. So like either to some planetariums, some museums, and as well as cinemas. And yeah.
So he tried. It's not like he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
abandoned you.
Yeah, that's the thing which I try to understand. I think like both of them, like I just recall one story like from my childhood. It was my birthday, and my dad brought like two jackets, and he's like, just choose what you like. And there was one very like pinkish, very beautiful. It's just at that time, yeah, girls love such things, and it was like with some feathers, and I'm like, I'm gonna choose this. And my mom is sitting as well, and she's like, but that one is of a lower quality. Like she was about quality and comfort, and she's like, but that one is like, there was the second one which wasn't that nice, and she's like, you can wear this for a longer time, it's very warm, it's yeah, it is also rain protective and blah blah blah. But like as a kid I want that. And then I remember like my parents were a bit like they were arguing on that. My dad was like, let her choose what she wants, and my mom was like, but that's not comfortable, I want her to wear something comfortable. So if you look at it, it's just yeah, you can see that both of them, like they want something good for me, but in their own way. So yeah, this is the thing, it's just things. Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, so
They
I
just
think
don't get
they love.
along.
Yeah, that's it. And their views are a bit different probably, so, and we know that. like everybody knows. Yeah, so my mom and dad, they also understand it. So
That's why they left, which is incredibly hard.
yeah,
But
but I think yeah, the pressure was from the society. I would say like in my country, it's like at that time, it's such a it looks like a shame when like this happens. But if you look now, like if you read some books on, I don't know, spirituality or happy life and things, it doesn't make sense to stay in a relationship where like you know that things are not working out and you are kind of probably wasting much time. But the thing is, you need to be responsible for your kids. And it's good, it's okay to get divorced or separated, but in our society, it was such a kind of a shame. People would speak like, oh, this girl doesn't have a father. But that's why we were, wait. And like this woman, like if she gets married, oh, she got married already a second time, or yeah, or like oh, like her husband is not. So we were. It's kind of a taboo probably thing or topic to speak about. So you just don't say it. Like when they are like, "Where's your father?" You are like, "Oh, on a how do you call like work trip." So you're like, oh yeah, he's there. But at some point, actually, it was because even until my fourth grade, when I was 10 years, so he used to go to, yeah, he had lots of trips. So yeah, he wasn't at home most of the time. But yeah, this is how it goes. Like that's why um
there's not much relationship with between you guys because of that.
yeah, and also I think that's why people feel kind of shy or feel like they shouldn't be speaking about this.
You
Yeah,
know
but
what? Screw those people. They're not paying your bills.
yeah, that's right. And you are not living up to others' expectations, so that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I got things to do.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that it's just right now my time where I'm a bit hesitant because like of recovering my relationship with my dad, because at some point I feel like um I am a bit more protective. I feel like I will come back feeling all those how do you call
Trauma?
being trauma, sadness, and let's say unfairness. Even though, as you said and I said, mentally I might understand the things, and even I told him so. But at the end, there is also a kid in us, like which feel like I didn't get that, and and right now, if they would be like he is. At some point, I think he's a bit demanding. Like, I know that if I let him, um, uh, like if we become more casual and talk, he will start asking like, "Why didn't you call me?" And he's like, "I'm sick. Come visit me." So, I mean, yeah, he starts demanding a lot because I tried this when I was 20 years old to recover my relationship with him, and he was yeah, he was like, you didn't come to visit my mother. I'm like, honestly, I really love my dad, but his mother is at some point I didn't meet his mother much, like my grandma, and my grandma I still find out as a yeah person who wasn't that good to us, let's say. So yeah, I don't want to have much of the deep relationship with them. It's just about my dad. But yeah, the more he keeps demanding, I'm like, oh no, it's not gonna work out. He would just again, you know start probably manipulating or something like that without knowing, of course. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
like that he's a very proactive person, actually. So I think I could be like I could have learned that skill or thing if I would interact with him a lot.
How about mom? What did she do for a living?
My mom is a doctor, so she has been a actually kids dentist, but then she took some time to take care about us and became a housewife. Yeah, and then after divorce, she requalified to a general doctor, like a family doctor therapist. And
What do
then
you mean, like a general practitioner?
yeah, general practitioner. Yeah, thanks.
So from
So
dentist, she became a general practitioner?
yeah, requalified.
What a beast! She does
Yeah.
everything.
Actually, I'm very much yeah, proud of her. She has done a lot. Like right now, I see some, yeah, I come across some challenges, and I'm like, oh God, my mom has been doing like as much as that, and I'm just too, like, yeah, sometimes, yeah, I see like how much she has done, and yeah.
So you're comparing yourself to your mom sometimes?
Not in that way, but when I feel like I want to tell her something and I'm like, oh no, she's gonna be worried right now if I share some of my challenges or what I'm experiencing, and then I'm like, but wait, we lived, like, for example, just a simple thing. Let's say when the things get more easier, we get a bit more lazier, I would say, or like the more we are standing in our comfort zone, it becomes more shrunk yeah, after some time, because like back in the days in Uzbekistan we used to go to school even on Saturday, but yeah, and now the world is wishing to have 4 days of work rather than 5 days, and I think, yeah, it's just we're becoming a bit lazier, but I know maybe efficient wise we probably weren't efficient to study 6 days, but still we could do it, without even thinking. But now I'm like, oh God. Like if I need to wake up, yesterday I had to wake up at 6 for that shoot. I'm like, if it's not for the shoot, I wouldn't do it. Like if it wasn't a flight or something, I wouldn't do that. So yeah, and yeah, at that time I'm like, I think, and I'm like, but that time my mom was like able to wake up earlier, prepare us for school, or prepare like even like home the food, warm food and everything, and she could do that. And yeah, I wouldn't say I compare much.
That could be detrimental.
And what does it mean?
Detrimental, I mean, it could be a negative thing too, because you will always trying to live up to what she has done. But what she has done is what she has done. Your
Yeah.
challenge is your challenge.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I was really much like fascinated. Your mom is a hero all the time. But right now, I think at some point I can also second adopt, if it's the right word, her choices or her character or yeah, her personality. So I think I just yeah, I think I became a bit more independent to also critically think on those things and yeah, take what is good for me and yeah, also be a bit judgmental on some things which don't work for me. Why? You are
Yeah.
laughing.
I always laugh. I laugh at the saddest thing, the most messed up thing. I will laugh because
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Cry about it?
No. But
Exactly.
there is a saying which says like we remember the memories which were good by crying and the ones which weren't good by laughing. So I think it's that one.
Well, yeah, our brain remembers the good things, the good part, because it protects us.
Yeah.
It's designed to protect us. That's why a lot of people doesn't exercise because
But I do.
good for you. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some people, because our brains are like, oh no, that's hard. Let's just chill
Yeah.
on the couch and do. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
designed to protect us. That's like the memory.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's also that's why we are afraid of, let's say, challenges, or we do it hardly, like we should push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm lazy, so you know,
Ah,
I do I
but
do things because I don't want to do them. So I just do it so my brain shuts up and I can just do
mm,
whatever I want to do. You know?
yeah. And but the thing is, like, I'm very much into psychology, so I follow like one of the best writers, authors, and like on also psychology professors. So they say like even they like, because I feel like sometimes, yeah, I know it's weird, but sometimes I'm like, is there a rule for a happy life? Like what you should be doing to feel like you are doing things right. But the thing is that they also say that you just got to do it. Like there is no other way to feel that it's right. You just got to do it. Like yeah, you know that workout is good, then you just do it even if you don't want. You know that playing with your kid, you have to do it, yeah, to connect. But even if you are tired, so
Yeah.
yeah, So the way you do is also you just do it. Yeah, but we also reward ourselves. Like after a hard day of work, I also love to chill and like in front of like watch Netflix and eat. And yeah, I recently yesterday I bought myself, like I usually don't do it, like just to get one thing I don't go out. But I'm like I want Berliner, the donuts. So I went out to get donuts, but they were not the ones that I prefer. And then I found a hair dryer, which I was looking for. And
Donuts to
instead
hair
of,
dryer are completely different things,
yeah,
okay?
I know,
I
but
don't know what.
but I've been looking for a hair dryer, okay, since a long time. Not looking actively, but I'm like, I'm gonna buy a new one. And then yesterday it was a very good sale thing, and then I was very happy to buy it.
Listen,
But
you don't have
was
to
it
justify it to me. You buy it, you be happy, that's it.
Yeah, but with that comes another thing, like people, I think the topic, like yesterday, we also have been talking about this. I'm like, I was very happy about this purchase. And I'm telling to a friend of mine, like, hey, I got a hair dryer. She's like, oh, wow, is this a Dyson Airwave or whatever? And then I'm Googling it, and then it's just like $500. Like it's very like the best one. I'm like, oh my God. And then I was like, I should have bought that one maybe. Like, I mean, like I should have bought something cooler. So I think we also, and then I became a little like sad unless I was conscious about it and mindful. I'm like, no, 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 that's the wrong way. You are like evaluating your achievements or your like choice by others like standards or preferences, which is not good. So yeah, I mean, what I realized was that I was asking a friend of mine who was very much into space. So I talked to him like, oh, what would make you so happy, like so satisfied about your life? And he got a bit more creative, and he's like, I wish I could go to the moon and I would be the happiest person in the world. And I'm like, okay. And then what if you like, and he's the happiest, and what if you share this with other people and your friend would be like, oh, I've been there for 5 times already. And then how would you feel? And he's like, well, now it wouldn't feel so good. And yeah, that's what I mean is that we always try to evaluate our achievements or our choices by looking at others, which we shouldn't do.
Yep, 100% I agree. What was the saying? It says that jealousy is the thief of joy.
Yeah, and also expectation, I would say, very high expectations.
Of yourself or other people?
I think of even situations and yourself, like, yeah, if you put too high expectations and you don't live up to it, it's a very good chance for you to become upset, disappointed, and you just need to be like, okay, I have high hopes, but if it like, yeah, we don't know if it happens or not.
I like what you're saying there. And I think that opens another topic because we were talking about me winning the award, the podcast award. And I was having a conversation with a friend, and he talked to me like, oh my God, dude, that's amazing. You won this and that, whatever. I'm always like even kill. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And not too high, not too low, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Because I'm not like, I don't want to be like too high because the next time when that high goes down, it will be down, like really down, right?
exactly.
But if you're even kill, okay, cool, you get excited or you get sad, but it's, you what's the word? Regulate your emotion. But he
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, 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 you should be excited. And I told him, I said, I'm excited. It's just, I'm not super, super excited. Because I know if the super excited goes up, that super sadness
Down.
is
Yeah,
super
yeah,
down.
it would be like very high frequencies of the emotions. But with that, I also have something to add. Like, there was one author or professor who got a Nobel Prize or something. And then one journalist came and he was like, oh, you got this prize. You must be super excited about it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm very happy and blah, blah, blah. And then the same stuff happened, like 5 more journalists came, and then or it was the 5th year or something, and he came and he's like, well, how do you think about it? Like, you must be very excited. And he's like, how a person can be excited over one thing for like several times.
Mm.
And it just mean also say that like your achievement, like those emotions are not constant.
Mm.
So the human always strives to get more and more in order to, I think we are designed like this, that we achieve something, but it, yeah, we are happy at that time, but it doesn't make us, yeah, happy forever. So he was striving for something more.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
like material things. It doesn't really make you happy. Like
Yeah.
you buy your hair dryer, right? And you're like happy.
But yeah, today I was like, but I'm not happy anymore. I mean, it's a normal thing right now. I have it, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, like
Material things.
yeah. I mean, happiness is it's not a destination. It's a feeling. It like comes and go. You cannot be happy every
Mm.
day. There is no
Yeah.
way you're happy every day. There's no way.
Yeah, and accepting this leads you to some peace, which is kind of you can define as a maybe constant happiness. Yeah,
Exactly.
compound. Yeah.
For me, it's being grateful is the main
Yeah,
key.
that's the thing.
Like you know,
And
like you said earlier, that you look back and see and self-realize, like, "Oh, you know what, I'm awesome. You know, I did these things. You know,
yeah, yesterday I said that.
yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
because if you, yeah, it was such a leap. Like, some people just don't see it. They're like, oh, some people who live here, they sometimes compare themselves, not maybe very straightforwardly, but they're like, but I'm doing this. Why don't you do? And I'm like, you should see from where I am coming from. Like, you were born, you were given some of the things which I didn't have by default. Like, it was your just, you know, like, yeah,
It's
it just
privilege.
existed. Yeah, it was just your, yeah, privilege, and you had this, and now you are just trying. Also, there are a lot of demographic differences, even by age and something. But I feel weird when they say it like, "But I can. Why can't you?" Or they look at it like at you as if you are less than them. They, but if you look at it, they haven't been in the situations where I have been, and the way they use some stuff, and way they when where they just take everything for granted, you know?
Mm,
And then you are like, hey, like some people are just dying there, like for, I don't know, they have like water shortage, but here people might just throw it away.
mm.
Like, oh, they're like, oh, I don't like the food, and they just threw it away. And of course, you don't want to eat what you don't want to eat, but it's just, yeah, you should be probably mindful when you buy it or when you spoil it. But it's just an example. Like, I mean, in many cases, it's just, yeah, you see the things
Oh, I stopped doing
like that.
this. Whatever they want to do, they want to do. Because for me, the way I look at it is like I'm trying to control them. I don't want to control nobody.
That's right.
You do want to do that, you do that. Like when people sees other parents and their kids, like the parent is not taking care of the kid as to their expectation, I always say like, yo, it's not my kid.
Yeah, I also like this attitude. Like, I agree with that. I, I mean, I don't get irritated, or I wouldn't run this discussion around when I see some stranger doing this, but when they mess up with my choices and stuff, and I'm like, but yeah, look at you, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, but overall I agree with you, because it's just, it doesn't even worth like spending your own energy on something that, yeah, it's a choice of the other person, and then they should come up with their own uh yeah, lessons, with their own conclusions about certain things.
Exactly. Let's change topic a little bit.
Okay.
2018, you moved to Germany. How old were you?
21, 22, yeah.
That's from Uzbekistan, right? You straight to Germany.
Yep.
How was that experience? Like a
Oh,
completely different culture.
yeah, and I think it was rather not more about culture. It was about so, okay, back in my country, we are collectivistic people. So we do it's like a cluster, I would say. Like, we work all together. So sometimes, like, your mom helps you, let's say, with the household stuff. The only job you have might be studying and earning, and so it's just like this. But here people are individualistic. Like in my country, even if you go on the street, somebody could see you having maybe some heavy stuff. They're like, hey, do you need help? Or yeah, of course, here you should be a bit more. Yeah, when somebody offers you help, you should be a bit more conscious and cautious about it. But yeah, in my country, everybody helps, like even your neighbor and things. So you are reliant, like you know that there is somebody, if you have trouble, helps you. But here as well, but it's just about being independent and responsible for your actions. So doing everything, most of the things by yourself, which I really like. I have seen that right now, like I'm very confident about some things that I wasn't before. So, and yeah, I feel more independent and I really love this skill that I got. So when I first came, I was struggling with like even the document things like back in my country, it's just, yeah, it could be that some elder person just helps you. You go together and you do all this like paper stuff and everything. But here you need to apply for visa. I had also the language problems and also like finding the apartment. Yeah. So, and once one German person just told me that you don't get a full service here. At that point, I was so much upset, like because I come with very high hopes. I'm very, like happy, and like I'm like, oh, I love this place. It's new, international, gonna connect. But people were like, but it was really eye-opening thing for me. First time I was very much upset. But then the more I've lived here right now, I think it is a good thing that you manage your own stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, but also like some friends of mine were like, I remember they said like, oh, why don't the educational institutes offer some living places? Like, why don't they help me find an apartment or something? She was complaining, and then the other like Germans or some European international students, they were like, what, are you a kid? So yeah, it's just, yeah, in my country, and also most of the time you just make a call and your job is done. You make a call, but here you need to wait. You write an email. Everything is like by appointment. So it's a bit long process, especially when you also don't speak that well. So calling also doesn't make much sense. But most of the time it's about like, I think everybody writes emails before making calls.
Did you know German before you moved, or you
The
just learned there?
Oh, I wouldn't say I know German so well. I understand, but I don't speak even till now. But I do have reasons for this, and I get very angry when people are like, "You don't want to learn it," because because I really like it. Like some people are like, "That language is hard. I don't want to learn," but I really like seeing progress in me, and I'm doing it, but a bit slowly. So what happened is that when I was doing my bachelor's, and I just applied to the scholarship, I didn't have much time to apply for the universities, and also I wasn't expecting that something would happen. So I mean, yeah, but all of a sudden I got this interview invitation, and after that it sounded positive. I'm like, I'm gonna get that, and then I got it, but a bit later, like when the admissions were closed. So I was so busy by applying for the schools. And when I was even like, I wanted to study either in Hamburg or Cologne. So I was telling them, oh, okay, I just now got a scholarship. Can I just apply? But the application deadlines have been, yeah, closed. And they're like, no, we cannot make any exception. So yeah, but I've been contacting all the like professors from different like programs everywhere, like, hey, like here are my qualifications and everything. And then yeah, like luckily like one university made the exception. So in Mönchengladbach, so I went there, but I mean, yeah, I didn't get much chance to learn. And when I came here, there were classes offered, which I took, but I also was, I think struggling also life-wise, like culturally trying to fit in and learn and improve and become independent, and also like this document you need to keep in mind, like there's also Uzbek Council, you need to do some registrations, and also the school, like economics classes, like everybody knows European economy because they live here, they hear the notes, but I failed that first time. So like that was my first fail at the like school. So but my retake was very well. I scored a very high mark. So I just mean that I was catching up with the school stuff as well. And then after that, I'm like, hey, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay in Germany. I want to get like experience. First, I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe I will go to the English-speaking country, like maybe Scandinavian one. And then at some point, I just decided that Germany is a place that I want to get some experience first. So then, but for that, you also need visa. So, but for visa, you also need to work. So I applied for a job first because, like, if I keep learning, then I will lose my job seek visa time, you know? So, yeah, so right now I'm just trying to catch up with work requirements, and also I think right now it's a very good time for me to intensively do German again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, some people would say, oh, it's late, or like you don't respect the culture, but I really want to learn this. Like if you give me 6 months of free time, like I can do it because with this passion, I would say. Yeah, but it's also about managing your time and putting priorities and efforts. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, listen, I live in Quebec. We mainly speak French here. I barely speak French. Like I know a little bit, but not really, you know?
Yeah.
I'm doing Duolingo. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, me too. But I'm doing great, because I was speaking, well, I think I'm doing, but I was kind of hitting on German guy and saying some German stuff, and he's like, "Oh, where did you learn that?" I'm like, "Duolingo." There was how to speak with a guy or some short session. So
Okay.
yeah, that was nice.
Speaking of guys, how we doing there? Dating.
Oh, yeah, I'm dating a German guy. And so far, I think I would say we are just yet exploring. So it's a very fresh and new relationship. So we are just exploring our views, our goals. So as we spoke about expectations, I don't want to expect something for further, to the long future, but we should see.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did that take time or was it easy for you to meet a guy?
I think after my I think we should cut this part. Okay, I will just say and then I will think about if we should cut or not, okay?
Okay, sure.
So, it, yeah, it took me along, I would say, because when you date a European or American guy, I think their values and the cultural differences, it's just, very prominent, and it's hard to see that you are matching or going anywhere. But yeah, I don't know what to say.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's true. I mean,
Yeah,
you are
so
from coming from a different background. Of
yeah,
course,
and
it will be a different point of view,
eh,
and there will be a lot
yeah,
of learning. Like, oh, he says black, I say white.
yeah, and
You
also
know,
the thing, yeah, exactly, and also
somebody tells you to wear the pink jacket. Somebody says like the one that has protection from the rain. You know.
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's the thing. So yeah, at the same time, it's trying to understand the cultures, and yeah, some people would be like, "Huh? Why do you do this?" I think it's like two different. I always find that my culture and European culture is a bit two different worlds, because what is cool back in my country is not cool here, or what is like very bad is good, or something different. So it's just and I think at some point I'm right now in between was those two cultures, because when I went back to Uzbekistan, I couldn't agree at some point with some of the things, and yeah, then I realized like how much I changed, but I think I'm satisfied with who I became now. So
I'm proud of
that
you.
change. Yeah, thank you.
Do you think you successfully assimilated to the culture, or you're still working on it?
I think it's also if I want to. I mean, I don't think I don't find anything wrong with the culture, but I think I have my own views on some certain things, and I don't want to integrate in that sense. Or it's also coming from a different culture. You can like whatever people accept things as it is, just it is, because they grew up and they see things it is, and they don't see it any other way. But you come from a different like culture, and you see that difference, then you become probably like you have your own opinion on some things, and you are like no, but yeah, I think it's a tricky question, but I wouldn't say I'm totally Germanized. I think I'm far from that. Yeah.
I want to ask you. So,
I
what
want
was
to be
the?
global. I want to be that global culture person, you know?
Of course, of course. You moved to Germany for education, right?
Yeah.
And is that based on because you want to improve as a person, or you is that a bit of monetarily as well?
My very first goal was at some point I was like, okay, it's very overgeneralized, but I'm like, okay, I studied at the best school, I studied at the best university, and now what? So I need something, some greater challenge. And then I'm like, yeah, there is an opportunity to go abroad and gain experience and grow like internationally. So my first thing, like goal was probably just to achieve more. I wasn't thinking about like the monetarily much.
So,
Yeah.
do you think so? Eventually, you will still immigrate, no matter what.
My first uh intention was that I just study, gain experience, and go back. But right now, I think I want to stay here. But maybe now I have also some advantage or some socioeconomically privilege and opportunities, but it's not only about this. I think not everything is about financial stability and everything, which is still important, but it's also about the opportunities that you have. Like I just look at it like with a simple example, which is super simple, but like if I work back in my country, I can I cannot travel all around the world. I can, but I need to save a lot. But if I'm here, I also um like there the culture also wouldn't let you be more independent, like individual, like be more individual and independent. But here, now that I have gained like those skills and yeah, I don't want to lose that and go into this again, shrink my comfort zone. So here I have more opportunities for this responsibility and everything. And here, like, if I work here, I can go back to Uzbekistan maybe several times a year. So this is how I look at it. But of course, I like the thing is that I still have a choice to go back. Like, I mean, always.
Yeah.
Like once. No, the thing is, yeah, but if I go back, it might be hard, not so hard, but it might be again a challenge to start things over again, you know?
So you really want to live there? That's what I'm trying to say, not just like visit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about my pension time, like retirement.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I really want to do then, though.
Do you alluded to yourself being in front of camera, photography and whatnot? And I love your photography and your post on Instagram and your post.
Thank you.
Yes, beautiful post.
Thank you.
You've always been very comfortable in front of the camera.
Mm, I think, yeah, and but the time when I'm most comfortable is when I just have camera itself. And then you do, but I don't do it by myself all the time, but it's just I like this self time. How do you call this?
Yeah,
Second.
self-timing camera. You're taking
Yeah.
selfies, essentially.
Yeah, kind of that. Yeah, but I think with people it becomes it depends like who is the photographer. But most of the time, most of the photographers really say that it's very easy to work with me. Because I think they say that I'm very communicative and cheerful. So, and yeah, I love trying out new poses, but sometimes it just doesn't come sometimes, and you're like, I don't know what to do now, and they're like, it's okay, yeah. So it just comes.
Do you always like to be photographed by other people, or it just comes now since you moved to Germany? There's more freedom, away from the culture, away from the gazes of the neighbors saying, "Ooh, look at her. She thinks she's pretty and shit."
Actually, I just wouldn't say I'm like super pretty. Like but I really like myself how I am.
So that you are
And
pretty then.
no, I am pretty, but in my own way, I'm very exotic, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
I mean,
man.
no, but I just don't want to sound like I find myself super pretty than others. That's why I do photos. It's just I do photos because I like, and yeah, okay. So your question was, um, I'm not really sure, but I think more possibilities opened again. Like before, when I still used to love posing. Like when I was in fourth grade, I remember I was posing, and my mom was like, "Oh, they look fake, not natural." But which even now people would say so. My mom was okay actually, but my dad also had seen them, and then my mom said he said that they look fake. Like you are not just standing, but you are posing, you know. And I think it just came when I was like during fourth, third grade. So I think it's just but then I didn't have a good camera, so I didn't take pictures. And on the after seventh grade, I got lots of pimples on my face, and then I didn't find that attractive to pose for a picture. But I still used to get with friends a lot, but not in a sense of modeling or anything. But yeah, then I got a good camera phone, and I started taking more pictures. And here, I really don't know how it came, but I felt like I want to work more on a professional level rather than just clicking myself.
You mentioned it earlier that you had some pimples. It was acne, right?
Yeah, acne, yeah.
How did it
Oh.
affect you personally and your personality?
Yeah, I think this is again about back to the culture, like wearing glasses and acne and things like that is very unfavorable back in Uzbekistan. So, like, whoever, even on the street, somebody sees you, of course they want to help, but when they keep approaching you, you feel like, okay, then something is wrong with me, like with my face. So they're like, oh, try, I don't know, some elder women are like, try this home recipe, try this and that. You are at the bus or public transport, and you need to be polite. It's just the thing, and you are like, okay, thank you, okay, thank you. So I didn't notice it much, but the thing which was very annoying was that it used to hurt. Like sometimes when you like wash your face, it just bleeds, and of course, yeah, it also I don't really think that it affects, like, I tried not to pay attention to that, but of course I knew that pimples are there, and some of the people, yeah, I could see their faces looking at me, I don't know, in a way like, I don't know, surprised or like, and the feeling that people would think like, why doesn't she take care of it? But it was hard. Like the in my back in my country, we don't have some ointments that we have here in Germany. So yeah, I've tried many things, but they don't know. They're like, oh, why doesn't she do that? So yeah.
Yeah, I had acne too, and it was rough.
Yeah, but the thing I really didn't like was that people asking, like, why do you have it? Or are you curing? Are you trying to do this? Well, they're just messing up with that, and they're just reminding this to you. But
Yeah.
otherwise, if they wouldn't do that, I would be like, okay, oh, it hurts, it sucks, but yeah, that wouldn't be that much
Yeah. I
annoying.
think one of the most hurtful thing that I heard when I had acne was like, "Oh, I don't have that. Why do you have that?" I'm like, "Do you think I want this
Yeah.
shit on my face?"
Exactly. Like regarding the appearance, when people discuss it, I'm like, we don't choose it, you know? Like, okay, we can choose how we dress up, how we take care of ourselves, but like the size of your eyes or yeah, your ears or your hair, it's just yeah. And like my mom was also a bit against when I realized one day that my eyesight is going decreasing, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna wear glasses, and my mom is like, why? You don't need it, because back in my country, it's just they look at you as if you are a nerd or something.
Hmm.
But since I studied in a like more international school, for me it was fine. And I think health is first, or how you feel is first. And yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, I just got it.
Well, with acne, did it affect you with your social life or even dating life if you even were dating back then?
Back in my country, how you date is mostly you just text or speak and meet with people, but it's highly controlled by your parents.
Hmm.
So it wasn't that I wasn't dating because
Okay.
neither of my friends were doing it as well. So yeah, I didn't have problems with that, but I feel like I still got I used to get like lots of attention, like from the guys, but not from the ones probably that I wanted. So I think like I know that what happened was that like until seventh grade, I remember on seventh grade people like the boys from the other class, they were talking about me, that they saw me first time, the
Hmm.
people from the other group, and they told the other girls that I'm pretty. I wasn't even considering much, just like you got an award and you were like, what? So I was like, what? And then they told, at that time I didn't have acne, but on eighth grade, when I started having it, I felt, yeah, uh, my confidence decreased a bit. I'm like, oh, I'm getting this acne thing. I'm becoming, my face is becoming ugly. But
Hmm.
like, yeah, later on when I tried everything and things didn't work out, but I know that my mom used to be annoyed. She's like, we are doing everything. All my money is going to your face. What you want? Then I'm like, okay, I'm just, cool with it. Like, it's okay, we're trying. And
Hmm.
then, but when some people cure their face and they're like, I'm pretty sure they want to help me. They come to me and they're like, oh, this thing helped me. Do you want to try this? It used to make me feel like it's working out for them, but why not for me? It
Hmm.
used to make me sad, but I think if I right now, maybe I don't even remember, but when I look back at it, I wouldn't think it was a very big issue for me regarding like getting attention from the boys or like feeling that yeah, not beautiful or whatever. But I
Hmm.
also know that I used to, maybe just to compensate, maybe I used to try to dress up or do my hair, yeah, to
Hmm.
maybe take attention out of this face.
I agree.
Yeah.
By the way, you should have told your mom, instead of being a dentist and a general practitioner, you should have been a dermatologist so you save us money.
Yeah, but now I'm very proud of my teeth. Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
yeah, yeah, but that was a good one.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, it was a rough few years with me because like I had acne like about mid 20s, and I'm
Mm.
like whole high school, college, nothing, like clear face, and then it just
Oh no.
boom. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? And it was rough.
Yeah, especially when you get this I don't know, surprised attention by others, like, yeah. It was the only thing, like when they keep asking, which was irritating, and the pain, of course. And sometimes you find it unfair, like why all this strange things happen to me, not to
Mm.
others, Yeah.
But now you have smooth skin. Did you go to a dermatologist or it just went
Mm,
away?
Yeah, when I was in Denmark as an exchange student, yeah, I went to the dermatologist and they gave me some stuff, but I was asking them for, they take actually the pills, hormone pills, which help. But if you keep taking it too much, it also can cause thrombosis, which is not good. And then I was like, please give me that. And they're like, you should try this, like the ointment. And I'm like, nothing helps me. I've tried. So just give me that pill. Because pill is the last because it started again becoming too much painful. Like sometimes it just recedes, like
Mm-hmm.
it becomes less, and then yeah, when it became painful, I'm like, I cannot do it anymore. And then yeah, I
Just give me
went
the
and
drugs, man.
yeah, and then they're like, just try it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try, and then it really helped. So yeah, I'm very much grateful for that day. And right now, I went back to my country, and my cousin asked for that stuff. So it's benzoyl peroxide. So I'm telling him like it's that one, and then it's not available in that store, like in the
In
pharmacy.
Uzbekistan. So
Yeah,
you have
so
to
he
send
didn't
some
find.
over.
Yeah, but yeah, actually you can buy it without prescription, so why not? But I don't want to do that. Like I don't know if it's legal or not.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be a drug dealer, you know?
No, no, no way. So so the thing is, yeah, but I buy the one which is prescribed because it's good, when you get a prescription. So yeah, now it's okay, and I'm very happy.
Listen, Zoe, thank you so much for being honest and sharing your stories. I think we're there. Before we
Yeah.
close out, do you have any last remarks?
Um, no, it's just I would like to thank you for inviting me, and I also enjoyed this honest and very nice conversation with you. That I felt like you were just like how do you call this? Like accepting person? You just listen, and yeah, I felt good.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you very much, and for others for listening.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you again, Zoe, for coming on the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, listeners, for listening. This is Aaron Doliosa for An Immigrant's Life. I'll see you guys later.